Greetings, everyone. This is Vicar John, the pastoral intern here at Bethany Lutheran in Cromwell, Connecticut. And I'm bringing you another episode of This Week in Ministry. And for This Week in Ministry, we will be lifting up the ministry that happens at Camp Calumet and our support of that ministry. And with me today, I have Ann Naughton with me to tell us a little bit about that ministry.
Okay. I got involved going to Camp Calumet when my children were quite young. Katie wasn't even 3 yet, and my son Christopher was just a baby. And we had seen a slideshow here at church about Camp Calumet and thought, we would give it a try. So they had just built their conference center there, so we were able to stay in the conference center. So it was like staying in a hotel, and we didn't have to do any work. And it was a wonderful thing because they had also the meals there as well. So it was great. It was camping, being in a camping environment without actually having to camp. Then when the kids got older, we did move out and started doing the campground camping and did that for a number of years until my kids were, out of high school. Once the kids were done with school, my husband and I continued to go there. So it has something to offer for everybody, young families, growing up families, and then adults after your families have grown.
Yeah. So what are ways in which people might be able to kind of help out and support such a ministry? I know just last weekend I was up there and we had our confirmation kids and they all had a blast up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when people hear about these fun activities that are going on up there, what might be ways that they can contribute to such a positive and great ministry?
Okay. Well, one of the things that you can do is just go to Calumet yourself because they have campsites and that's how they, keep going is they want to have those campsites full and the conference center full and going to activities during the year. The conference center is open. So just looking to Calumet as a way for your vacation plans or for your kids going to camp, it's a nice option and you're helping to support the camp in that way. Another thing is if you were to go to Camp Calumet's website, they have a couple initiatives where you can donate funds. It's expensive to go to camp, and not every kid's family is able to send them to camp. So there are scholarships for kids, and you can make donations to that. And as part of the contributions to that, they're able to keep the costs of attending camp low. Also keeping the camp going, they have an annual fund, which again, there's a list every year of things that camp needs to keep itself maintained and as wonderful as it is. So that's another way that you can contribute. Another way you can contribute is by volunteering your time. The Synod, I know Pastor Paul has volunteered his time to be a chaplain on staff on the family camp side, for a week. And so that's sort of what our congregation does to support Calumet as, part of our contribution to Calumet is contributing his time for, the week that he's there. He's not here at home servicing us. So that's a way that congregations can support Calumet as well. Another thing I think is important to remember is that this is a way that you can keep your kids engaged in the church as they get older. Sometimes we find, I think, that kids, when they start reaching the high school age or whatever, it's harder to get them to be enthusiastic about things. But camp is, the resident camp is for kids from 8 to 18. So you have kids who are either attending camp or they're participating in the leadership program there or CIT program or else working there on various jobs at the camp. So it's a nice environment for teenagers to be in. And I think that was a part of it I didn't really think about too much until my own kids were older and until I spent some time at camp myself. I spent a couple summers working in the conference center in the food service area. And I did that when my son Christopher was in middle school age and my daughter was a CIT at the time. So we were all sort of up there at camp and, it was a nice way for, to help camp out and spend some extra time at camp. So there's many ways that you can help, either with monetary gifts or volunteer gifts, or just by sending your kid to camp or vacationing at camp. And what could be better than that than going on vacation, right?
Well, there you go. Well, thank you for that wonderful insight to such a great ministry that's there up at Camp Calumet, and the ministry that we support up there as well. So
Okay, thank
thank
you.
you for coming.
Yes, sure.
And thank you all for watching This Week in Ministry, and I hope that you have a blessed week. Take care.